Welcome back to the club. I am the CLB, and today is the end of radiation. This is the mask that they used to put on my head to keep me still during the radiation. So we're just gonna talk about that, and my dad's here to talk about his perspective on all this as well. So we're gonna do some more Powerwash Simulator, and we're just gonna chat, see where it goes. I'll tell you a little bit before we start about what the radiation process was like, because you might be interested in that. It was really pretty simple. It took maybe 10 minutes each day, besides sitting and waiting in the doctor's office. But basically I would just go into the room, they would verify who I was, make sure they were radiating the right spots. As you can see where they radiated, it's pretty obvious. Then they would lay me down, put this mask on to keep my head still. And then it was about 2 to 5 minutes, somewhere in there, probably about 5 minutes of the radiation going on. And during that time I had a visualization that I would do to kind of make it feel like I was doing something in there kind of thing. I'll throw it up on the screen. This is an artist rendition. Basically, it was me visualizing my brain cells holding up shields or as dragon scales to protect themselves from the radiation, but holding the tumor cells up to be killed by that radiation. So the artist did a pretty good job. It's hard to, replicate something that I was visualizing for 30 days, but it was pretty good. So after that, I would just walk out, be done. The only effects were, the baldness that you've seen before, that I'll show you here. And, that'll come back eventually. It did for the last one, at least most of it. I was supposed to have nausea, fatigue possibly, didn't experience any of that. I was really lucky in terms of, how I felt through the whole process. And good news, today was the last day, which is why I now have the mask. So we're celebrating the end of the radiation. I got to ring the bell, which I'll throw up a clip of that now as well.
Thanks.
That was kind of fun. I'd seen other people do it, and it actually feels really good. We're gonna get into some Powerwash Simulator in the background now while Dad and I chat about his perspective through all this. So let's do it. So I guess my question for you is, we can start at the beginning. What was it like for you in that first diagnosis when I was 21?
Well, of course, we heard about it. We were out at dinner with some friends. Actually, I was interviewing a student. You called and told us about the tumor right then, so we stepped out of the restaurant and took the call, probably because my potential student knew that my life was going to be thrown into chaos, decided not to come to Duke.
It was probably better with, not having to worry about that.
Yeah, but, and then we, got you home and found out what everything was, and it was just basically sort of one day at a time, take it. And, we were glad it was not one of the more dangerous, deeper in your brain kind of tumors.
It spread a lot, but it was at least not buried in behind stuff.
Big, and I remember I kind of kicked myself because we had gone to Hawaii. I don't know if it was the month before. And I noticed you had a bump on your head, and I asked you about that bump, and you said, I don't remember, something like, you bumped your head or something like that.
I had already seen a doctor and asked them about it, so I wasn't concerned about it at that point, because the doctor had said, oh, you just bumped your head and then you did it again, so it's still there. But no, that was where the tumor was.
So I kind of kicked myself for not getting you in and having that checked out when I first noticed it.
Well, we'd already seen a doctor. They'd said it was okay, so there's nothing, I mean, you could have pushed for it, but there was no reason to at that point, because the doctor already said it was okay.
So that was basically the beginnings of the whole thing here. And then after the first one, the first operation, it was a little rough at first afterwards.
Quick question before we keep going through that. Leading up to that first surgery, how did you feel during that? Was that, you said you were taking it day by day. Did it feel like a whirlwind, or was it like time was slower? And it was, what was that like?
It's kind of hard to remember now, because it was a long time ago.
It was.
I would say basically, we were kind of in the hands of the doctor, so we would just, and they made it sound like it was not too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They did
we thought
downplay
we thought it would be going well.
Yeah, and we had Dr. Friedman,
Yeah.
who we knew already.
Yeah. So we've generally felt pretty good about it. You know, it's nothing you want to see your child go through, but these are the kinds of things that happen in life. You seem to be a pretty good sport about it.
Yeah.
So I think it went okay. The recovery afterward was a little rough here. It took longer than I thought.
Same.
And I think even longer than you thought, because you were having some problems, like when we tried to do summer school
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
up in, what was it, Boston?
Yeah, I called you when I had the panic attack there.
Yeah, yeah.
First
So,
panic attack, well, first and only panic attack I've ever had.
Yeah, yeah.
When I didn't feel like I didn't have my intellect back, and it
Yeah,
kind of scared me.
Yeah. And so we just figured out you were probably just going a little bit too fast.
Yeah.
You know, we got that sorted out.
Yeah, I was really glad to have that support. Like,
Yeah.
you guys just let me,
Yeah.
got my own place during that. I
Yeah.
guess it was with
Yeah.
a friend, but
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
supported me to have, feel some independence, and that was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
You know, just
So,
throughout the whole thing, it's been
Yeah.
really nice to have loving family. A lot of people don't have that, and I just want to express my gratitude for that.
well, yeah. Well, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
you know, I carry that same attitude, you know.
Yeah,
If family needs it, I'm taking a flight, I'll be there.
So anyway, that was the first one, and then of course you then had it reappear, and
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
it
a
was the
regrowth.
second. You also again had another operation, if I recall right.
Yeah, they didn't want to do radiation yet.
Yeah.
I think it was because it was, well, I guess they did radiation after that second.
After the
regrowth.
second
Yeah.
one, they did radiation, but the first one, I think you had the choice, but you decided to go with the operation.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to add radiation too soon if they could get it out. Because, you know, if they came back like they have been,
Yeah.
the less radiation, the better.
Yeah. So it was just kind of disappointing, and then to keep having something reoccur every 4 years, it's kind of, you know, it's very depressing. And
Yeah.
for me, because I could see that you would be just getting your life started again, and then you'd have this setback of one sort and another.
Yep.
That's always been my main disappointment, is that, you know, this thing is just not gone for good.
Yeah.
You're getting over each one, and you seem to be doing fine, but you know, it has to be taking a toll on your personal and emotional life.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could get into normal swing of things here, and they say that this one here with this radiation, it's 90% gone after 5 years, or 90% possibility that it won't show up in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hoping that that is actually true, and it goes even longer. So I'm hoping that they keep getting it, but you know, we're kind of inured that, you know, what's the latest scan showing? That's all we can do.
And there are going to be more scans now.
So how often do they want you to scan now?
It'll be every 3 months instead of every year.
Okay.
We had moved out to every 2 years at one point, but
Yeah, yeah.
even that was too much. Luckily with the meningiomas, they usually have pretty good numbers on, you know, not malignant, not regrowing. You know, I've been good on a lot of those, but the regrowth has been unlucky. Luckily, medical technology is getting better. Surgery, like this surgery, I can barely see the scar from it now.
Yeah, yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah, I was amazed how quick you recovered from that. It was like, you know, the first time you got out, you were kind of
Yeah.
for a while.
I think it was because they had to go through my neck muscles a lot more for that first one, so I couldn't hold my head up was the worst part. Laying down in any position was painful for a few weeks, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this one was a lot better.
Yeah. So we just keep hoping for the best. I mean, you know, you do have a life, you got a career that you seem to be good at. You know, I just want you to settle it down and settle in, and get an active social life, and not have to worry about this so much. You know, it's always going to be there. It's something you have to think about, but it'd be nice if you could get over with it.
Yeah, exactly. And have it not interfere so much, which, you know, I'm trying to do that more and more. I feel like the chronic pain that it came after the first one has been the biggest.
And the other
detriment.
thing is that, you know, I keep thinking, you know, can we do something about that? Because I think that also is just kind of something, you know, it's just like having a pebble in your shoe all the time. You're just always uncomfortable and not quite right. I'm surprised you're not crankier than you could be with
Some
that.
days I am, and that's the days that I, tell people I'm just not gonna hang out today.
It's just one of those things, that kind of chronic things you have to kind of live with, and it could be worse. So count our blessings that way.
Yeah, that's what I've tried to do as well, is be grateful for the good things that have happened. There's a lot of crappy stuff with it, but I'm also really lucky in terms of what has happened with them a lot of the time. I haven't lost function, anything like that. I was losing vision before this surgery, and we just saw the ophthalmologist, and I have literally perfect vision. My field of vision is great, it's 100%. My vision is 20/20, so I was very surprised at that.
Yeah, and like you said today, maybe this operation also did something to remove some of the chronic pain, or at least make it less severe.
More bearable. Yes, for the people out there, my chronic pain has been pretty severe during this time of year with the season change, when it goes warm, cold, rain, sun. When it switches like that quickly and severely, it usually hurts quite a bit. Would knock me out. I'd have to go be in a dark room, that kind of thing. But so far these last few weeks, I haven't had the same levels of pain. It's still been there, but it's been manageable. I hope that it stays that way. So this time when you heard about this one, especially with the emergency surgery.
Yeah, that was
how was
concerning.
That?
Well, it was kind of like the first one, we weren't expecting it because you'd been clean.
Yeah.
And when it has come back, it's always been kind of smallish.
Yep.
And so when we found out how bad it was, that was concerning. That's the bad news of this go around, is that it came back a little bit more vicious than before.
Yeah, that's the concern with this one, and why I'm reaching out to, the leading meningioma doctor in the country. Is like, okay, well, this might be speeding up, and hopefully we can be it can be a mutually beneficial situation where my specific case can really help her and her research, and whatever her research is could benefit me. That's the goal of medicine and science, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody's got something wrong, use that to help other people. Hopefully we can learn something from it.
Well, that's all you can do is, just get through it.
Yeah, exactly. Just support each other through it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have some kind of medical thing at some point. It's part of why I wanted to do this series, because I know people will run into this kind of thing, and it's really hard to deal with. There was a lot of troubles with a lot of the different times it came back. Just either my recovery, or just like feeling like I'd lost my social life, and feeling like, oh, how do I get back into the world?
Yeah.
I think the one in 2014 was probably or 2013 was the kicker for me, of like, okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing with myself after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been good to have the support.
Yeah.
Better than good. It's been all the difference. Anything else?
I'm sure I would think something later, but I just want to see you get out and not have to worry about these kinds of things, and have a good social life, and
that's my goal too.
Yep.
Well, good. Well, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for talking about that and being open for everybody. I appreciate it, and I'm sure others out there do as well. So. Everybody out there, thank you for watching and sticking with us through another episode. We made some progress in our cleaning. Hopefully it helped clean out some of the things in your mind as well. Until next time, see ya. Do you want to do the see ya with me?
I don't know how to do it.
The Cameron Crazies, how they go.
Oh, yeah, see ya. Yeah.
We can do another take of it if you want.
No, that's okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.